This is Imaginary Me, where we see through the illusion of the separate self. Welcome back. It's Imaginary Me. A question comes in. Of what use is self-realization to me? What can I get out of self-realization? Well, there are a few ways to tackle this. The first thing I'd say is there's nothing in it for you. The character. Self-realization is not for the imaginary self that you think you are. It is seeing through the illusion of that and knowing your true self as unbound, unlimited, effortless being awareness. That's it. That has nothing to do with the character that you are. Now, there are effects of self-realization that work its way down into the life of the character in the movie, the imaginary self. There are changes that can happen and usually do. More peace, lack of anxiety, a sense of boundless freedom. But it's dangerous to think that when self-realization, quote unquote, happens, it happens to the character. That the character's life, the script in the movie gets better. That problems vanish. Money problems go away. All the relationships are now fixed and wonderful. And you'll get the Ferrari you've always wanted. Or the mansion. Or you'll sit in bliss all the time. You'll be like the guru in the cave, someone people seek out for wisdom from on high, automatically granting you wonderful visions of heaven, a visitation from the gods, kundalini rising, wondrous powers developing, healing the world, solving poverty, stopping all wars, becoming a superhero. Now, I'm being a little facetious, of course. Many times, some of those things do in fact occur to the character in the movie. The script often does get better, but usually it manifests in ways that are more subtle and not so overt. More peace, no anxiety, no confusion. And one of the biggest ones, no more seeking. Because once you know who you are, that question is settled and solved, and you feel it, and you know it. And all seeking drops away. More happiness. More bliss. If we can define happiness and bliss as that the fact that there's nothing wrong. You can't look at the moment from that perspective of the non-dual and say that anything is wrong. You find joy in simply being. You find peace is your nature. Joy is your nature. Happiness is your nature. Knowing your true self is joy and happiness and peace. And that never leaves you. Circumstances may arise that seemingly sometimes cloud over aspects of that. But if you pause for a moment, that peace never leaves. That joy never leaves. Even in the strangest and most dire of circumstances, it's always there. You see life more as a movie on an automated script rather than things that require a character to push and pull and achieve. You relax. These are the common ways that self-realization manifests within the character in the movie. None of this applies to who you really are. Effortless, aware being, that never changes. You can't improve upon that. It's not a goal to make that more prevalent, better, more aware. Awareness cannot be more aware than it already is. Being cannot be more being than it already is. So what benefit is self-realization to you? On the one hand, you are already what you've always been. Effortless, aware being, boundless, timeless, eternal, infinite. There's no improving upon that, and it's already the case. Self-realization is simply being aware of that and knowing your true self as that. And then acting from that perspective, living from that perspective. And slowly, that perspective integrates in varying ways, unpredictably, into the life of the character in the movie. It won't turn an asshole into a saint. Not necessarily. It could. But in my experience, I found that personalities remain rather structured, especially after you reach a certain age in life. The body-mind has certain structures that are more or less solidified. That's not to say it can't happen. One day I might do a podcast about the enlightened asshole. There are such things, you know. Knowing who you truly are doesn't always turn every self-realized person into Gandhi or some stereotypical character we think of as very passive and soft and gentle and so kind and loving at all times. And we have various conceptions about what changes are brought about to the character in the movie. Integration is a whole other thing, though. And I say, the answer to the question, what does self-realization bring me as the character in the movie? I say nothing, not to be mean or to dissuade you at all, or to make you lose interest, no, but to set the right expectation. That self-realization is not for the character in the movie. It is awakening from the dream of being the character in the movie. And what changes happen to the character after that are somewhat unpredictable, but again, largely to do with peace, ease of being, relaxation, love. These things are what's in it for the character, mostly. I hope that helps a little bit. That's all for now. Until next time, take care and enjoy yourself.